Hmm. Well, hmm. Good morning. Good morning. Good effing morning. Good effing morning. Oh my god. So, I have, something to admit here. I have something to admit here. I if you had not seen it on my Twitter, here it is. Hey, streamer! Why is it that you've already done a part of the tier list? I thought this was just part 1. See, here's the thing. This is technically, publicly, part 1, but to me, it's part 2. And I will tell you why. And I will tell you why. You want to know why? This is part 2 to me, but part 1 to you? Because the first time I did this, I hit start streaming on OBS, but I never hit go live. Because apparently, I didn't know that this was a thing, or it didn't dawn on me that start streaming does not necessarily mean you're going live yet, at least when it comes to YouTube. When you're streaming from YouTube. So, because I didn't hit go live, I was doing part 1 of the tier list just by myself. Nobody watching, because I never hit the go live button. None whatsoever. So now I'm checking everything multiple times just to make sure that yes, YouTube Studio says I'm live. I see the blue end broadcast button on my OBS. So I did hit go live this time. Actually, wouldn't go live be on the top right there? Whatever. I am live now, and that's what matters. And now, I'm now in a very awkward predicament. And what's that predicament? Mind you, what is that predicament? I could just do the tier list over again. Start from the beginning, right? Yeah, that's what you would think. But no. Instead of just resetting this entire tier list and just painstakingly tiering all of this again, I'm just gonna go from bottom to top from what I have so far. Then we can probably add another 100 to this list, and then I'll end the stream for the day, and then I will check like a 5th time to make sure I actually am streaming. Because usually, how I check when I'm streaming is I have this little, it's if I just type something in chat like this, I am streaming. I don't have it, okay, I don't have YouTube chat on the screen, so that is something I probably gotta, rectify. However, that is not a good approximation or a good measuring stick to see if you're streaming. I actually have to just make sure from multiple places that I am actually streaming. So am I streaming? Yes. God is my witness, I hope I am streaming. Oh my god, it actually appeared on screen. Wait a second. Wait, what? I'm so confused about that. I thought that this chat right here was like only Twitch chat. Okay, well I guess it's the YouTube chat too. So hey, I am actually streaming and I actually see it on the preview for your YouTube. So, guess what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna go from bottom to top. I'm going to go over all of this again, then also spend another maybe like half hour or like an hour just continuing on with the list as if nothing happened, but I am going to make up for the fact that I never streamed part 1 because I literally have the spatial awareness of, like, not even a peanut, maybe like a tick or something, like smaller than a peanut. So, let's just start from the bottom, okay? Let's start from the bottom. I wish I had a timer so I could actually put on the screen, but I'll just use OBS to time it for me. Okay. So, this here is haven't played. Actually, you know what? Because I'm doing this again, I'm going to, I'm actually going to give a little bit of a descriptor to each one of these. So, S tier here, my jam. These, S tier means I will never not enjoy playing these. These are, like, keyed in to my personality as a gamer. So, S tier is that. Okay, so let's see. A will also be, excellent. Okay, maybe I should make it a bit smaller, huh? Excellent? There you go, excellent. There you go, there's that. So A is excellent. These are not necessarily my jam, but I will not have any complaints about playing these. In fact, you could say that I rather do enjoy playing these series. B is pretty good. Pretty good. And here is so-and-so. There you go, so-and-so. So-and-so, rather not. E is definitely not. And then F is get that out of my face. Okay, no, that's a bit too mean. Honestly, that's a bit too mean. Not even remotely for me. There you go. That's basically how we're gonna do this. Oh, okay, so, D is passed. Okay, D is gonna be pass, actually. Pass, and then E is definitely not, and then F is not even remotely for me. That's good. There you go. This is how I do my tier list here, because the tier list here is not necessarily going to be, which games I think are the best, well, game series that I think are the best on a technical level. Because on a technical level, I rate these games very differently from how I place them on the tier list here. Yeah, on a technical level, it's very different. On a personal taste level, that is where I'm gonna judge all of these series. And personal taste also includes games that I have not necessarily played myself, but I have experienced through tertiary media. Like, YouTube videos, video essays, and just people playing the game. Sometimes people playing the game for me, because I was just a small big babu who could not know their way around a controller. So, yeah, there is that. So, those kind of games will probably be more so down here, but if I experienced a game enough to have an opinion of whether or not I would actually play this or not, then I will put it on the list. If I have not played it or seen it enough, I will just slap it down here. Haven't played, or barely watched. There you go. That's how I'm judging the tier list. So, with that in mind, let's just start from the beginning. And in fact, actually, let me go grab my water first. I don't have much water. Oh god, okay, so I don't have much water. This is gonna be a grand old time. This is gonna be such a grand time. Oh, dorm? I don't know what word I was trying to say there, but we'll just move on. Brain is not working. Brain is not working. I will preface this by saying that I did intend to stream this just a day or two ago, but hey, when you get ill and lethargic, you kind of can't do this. and I can't do this. It requires a certain modicum of energy, which I did not have at all. In fact, I spent most of my time sleeping, and that was nice, but waking up, my body was extremely sore, so that's kind of concerning. Man. Anyway, let's start from the beginning here on Haven't Played or Barely Watched. Like I said before, Haven't Played or Barely Watched are basically game series that I have never played before, and on top of that, I've barely seen media for. So with that in mind, we're here starting with Mario Sports Mix. Wonder if I can actually just... Sure, we'll just do it like that. Yeah, Mario Sports Mix right up here. Yeah, no, I know about the Mario Sports games like golf and tennis and all that stuff. Mario Sports Mix never really heard of. If it's basically the Wii Sports of like Mario, then great. I will still put it down here because I've never seen a lick of it. Mario and Luigi, that is definitely a sleeper RPG series within the Mario series, and Mario and Luigi unfortunately goes down here for me because I haven't seen enough of it. The music does slap though, but music is not enough for me to say that I will actually like this game will be my jam or not. Captain Toad. Yeah, Captain Toad puzzle games, yeah, I will pass on most of them, and I haven't seen much of this either. Super Princess Peach. I saw this in a GameCube buyer's guide, or was it a DS buyer's guide? One of those buyer's guide when I was younger, and that was it. I appreciate for them trying to break out of like the mold a little bit by having Peach as the main character, but the only thing I can remember from this is that she had a special power-up in the game that involved just crying. Anyway, Donkey Kong, that is definitely one of the rhythm games of all time. I knew a bunch of people who for some reason had the bongo controllers, like more people than I thought would have, except me. I barely know anything about the game, so that's why it's going down here. Barrel Blast. That's to me. Actually, no, I haven't seen much of this either. Mario versus Donkey Kong, have barely seen that either. Link's Crossbow Training. This one had a specific like controller fitting for the Wiimote. This one had a specific controller fitting, like, for the Wiimote. I believe, actually, though, it was that, adapter for the Wiimote that made it into, like a light gun rifle thing. You know, like the Super Scope? Yeah, this was one of the only games for it. And, I guess it was fine for, I don't know, maybe like an hour or something. But I barely seen a lick of it, so nope, I'm putting it down here. Metroid Prime Pinball. This is just one of those quirky side games that, you know what, maybe it was fun during the time, but I have no interest in it. I prefer to play actual pinball games. I'm sorry to say, even though I do appreciate Metroid a lot. Mystery Dungeon. This is a big, like, I don't get why it's down here. In my life, I should have had the opportunity to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and see it, but somehow, at this point in my life, I'm literally near 30, and I have not seen much of this game at all. I don't know how this happened, but unfortunately, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, despite it being a well-beloved sleeper series within the Pokemon franchise, I am not going to put it anywhere aside from here. I'm just being honest. Detective Pikachu, that was a game? I thought that was a movie. Ice Climbers. The greatest export of Ice Climbers is the Ice Climbers itself and wobbling. There you go. Thank you, Melee. Kid Icarus. The greatest export of Kid Icarus is what do they call Dark Pit, Edge Pit? I don't know. It had an old game on the NES, and then it had like a DS game that was actually pretty good from what I heard. But honestly, I haven't seen much of that. That's again down here. If I haven't seen much of it, it will be down here. Same thing with Amiibo Festival. There was an Amiibo Festival. There was an Animal Crossing amiibo. Is that if this was a mobile game? If this was a mobile game, then I totally understand. I totally understand. If this was a mobile game, absolutely, I understand that. At least when it comes to my tastes, because I try to avoid mobile games as much as possible. Chibi Robo. I heard this was well beloved, but that's all I heard. I don't even know how the game is like. Excite Bike, that was one of the NES games that was, you know, everyone knows about it, and I just didn't play. Balloon Fight, same thing with that one. Same thing with Excite Bike for me. Golden Sun, another beloved RPG series that still has not seen the light of day again from its devs for whatever reason. Maybe in the next Smash game we'll finally get Isaac. Yeah, that's literally all I know about it. Isaac came from this series. He's the kid with the big hand. The big Buddhist palm hand thing, you know, as an assist trophy in Brawl or something like that. Pilot Wings. Is that like Balloon Fight? But okay, I don't know. Pilot Wings. Heard of Pilot Wings, never seen Pilot Wings. Snipper Clips? What is that? Art Academy, I don't even know what that is either. Nintendo Land, that was a thing for like a couple of days and everybody forgot about it. 1-2 Switch. 1-2 Switch, I mean, okay, so here's the weird one. I've seen 1-2 Switch being played, but I feel like I haven't seen enough of it being played to actually have the opinion of whether I would actually play this or not. I think this is just one of those, like, cooperative puzzle games, and if it's a cooperative puzzle game, no. Nintendo Labo, yes, where the controller is cardboard. This is one of the weirdest, like, series that Nintendo has put out, even though it's a single entry series. Yeah, this is one of the weirdest ones that has been put out, that actually had so much for it, despite being such an out there concept, and it fell flat. So yeah, we're probably not gonna see cardboard gaming anytime soon, if not ever. Astral Chain. I'm sorry to say, even though Astral Chain apparently is really good, haven't seen much of that. Wonderful 101, same. Sonic Storybook series, is this the one where Sonic dies or something, gets murdered, and then you gotta solve that? Sonic Spinball, if that's Pinball Sonic, then I would just play, you know, Sonic 3 or 4, whichever one had those, like, pinball bonus levels in it. Sonic Battle, I see this getting memed on, but, I mean, if I saw more of it, I would probably put it in the... I'll probably just put it, like, somewhere up here. But, yeah. That's why it's down here. Alex Kidd. You know, when I saw this entry down here in the list, I could not tell you if I ever heard of any series up to this point called Alex Kidd. And I think Alex Kidd is also, that's Sega, right? This is Sega. This is Sega stuff now. So, Alex Kidd, never heard of. Outrun. Outrun I have heard of, haven't seen much of. Same with Samba de Amigo and Football Manager and Choo Choo Rocket and Fantasy Zone. Actually, I've never even heard of Fantasy Zone until this tier list. Bonanza Bros, same with that. Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. I think we're in Capcom stuff now. I haven't seen Captain Commando. Oh yeah, and by the way, have not seen Castle of Illusion either. All I know from Captain Commando is that he gave us a banger character in the form of Captain Commando for Marvel vs. Capcom, and that's all that matters to me. I'm sorry to the original Captain Commando. You were probably a mid-game anyway, if my experience with the original IP for iconic characters in Marvel are... Well, Marvel vs. Capcom. Let me clarify, Marvel vs. Capcom. Dino Crisis. Keep hearing about Dino Crisis. People thought Exoprimal was just gonna be Dino Crisis 2. Turns out Exoprimal is its own thing, and I don't even know if the game is out yet. The hype around that kind of died out pretty fast, well, at least in my circle. Pac-Man World. this is just an open world Pac-Man RPG thing, then this is why that's why I haven't heard of it. Let's go up to F, not even remotely for me. Dr. Mario, yes, puzzle game. I'd rather play Tetris, Duck Hunt, first light gun game, I guess, but still, I mean, too simple for me to play these days. It'd be nice to play for like 20 minutes at best. Game & Watch. I will never play these games, even though I main the character in Ultimate. Sonic Boom. Okay, so here's the thing. Never played the games, heard they were a buggy mess, and they were a big flop, but the cartoon was pretty good. And because it's the cartoon and not the game, I can't put it anywhere but down here, because this is specifically talking about the game here. Sonic Boom the show, though, if you can catch it, definitely catch it, because it was pretty good. Very self-aware, and it didn't really take itself too seriously, which I appreciate. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I hardly care about Olympic video games. I hardly care about that. Hardly care. So, no. Even if it's Mario and Sonic. Actually, I care about it even less if it was Mario and Sonic. I'm sorry. This is just a really, like, obvious tie-in game, and I usually avoid tie-in games. Alien Isolation. This is a horror game. So, no. Automatic no. Also, I heard this was really scary, and one of the scariest games ever? I usually tend to not think of, like, the Alien IP as scary at all, but I mean, if it is one of the scariest games ever according to a lot of people, then I mean, fair enough, more power to you. I'm definitely gonna extremely avoid it this time. Resident Evil. Okay, so here's the thing about Resident Evil. Not even remotely for me, unless if you're talking about games later on in the series, before the remakes, like Biohazard and like whatever have you for. If it's Resident Evil 5 and 6, then I could play those. The problem here is that even though I could play those, I still have no interest in playing them. Here's the thing about horror games with me. Horror games are on a tier of, if I am able to fight back, then maybe I am more likely to play these. But because they are horror games and I still have latent trauma regarding horror, then, is latent even the right word? Whatever. Because I still have that regarding horror, then Resident Evil, unfortunately, will, for the foreseeable future, be down here in the F tier. Even though, I will say, these are, on a technical level, some of the most, like, banger games ever. There's a reason why this is one of the flagship series for Capcom. It's just not flagship in my heart. Definitely not. E in the definitely not tier. Wait. Why is this in the definitely not tier? I would actually, like, be okay with playing these. What? Wait. Okay, you know what? I'm looking at the entries that I actually put on here. Let's see. Let's just have this as maybe. Maybe. D is like... Okay, what would D be? D is... Let's just put D as, like, so... Wait, why would D be so-and-so? I am now confused with with my choices here. Okay. Okay, how about this? Great. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. And then this one is, so-and-so. There you go. So-and-so. There you go. This is how I'm gonna do it then. E tier here is maybe. Maybe I will give these things a shot, but it's more than likely I won't. Let's go through these a bit quickly. Advance Wars. People really like... Okay, fans of Advance Wars obviously really like this, but apparently Advance Wars has a very positive opinion in terms of general gaming that, you know what, fair enough. I've seen enough of it to be like, maybe, okay, it wouldn't be my first choice, but if I ran out of things to play, then I wouldn't be angry about playing Advance Wars. Mario Super Sluggers. It is down here because I will play a Mario sports game. Like, a singular Mario sports game. But baseball would be at the bottom of that list. I am not into that at all. I am not into baseball IRL at all. Maybe if, like, the baseball was, like, extremely arcadey. This is assuming that Mario Super Sluggers is already arcadey, but if it was super arcadey, then maybe I would. Legend of Zelda. Okay, look, here's the thing about Legend of Zelda. Yes, flagship, one of the flagship series, one of the iconic video game series of all time for Nintendo and gaming and, like, whatever have you. Just, it is not for me. 100% not for me. I only played Twilight Princess, and I've seen the several other Zeldas being played, and not once did I go, man, after Twilight Princess, I can't wait to play the other games in the series. No, absolutely not. I'm like, well, Twilight Princess is enough. I never even finished Twilight Princess, and I just got tired of it by the end of it. So, no. I appreciate Zelda for its iconicness in, like, the gaming world. Like, Link is one of the iconic video game characters of all time, but just like with Resident Evil, it may be a flagship, but it's not a flagship to me. Pokemon Go. I'm only putting this down here because I appreciate the fact that it brought us world peace for like a week. We will never ever have that kind of moment again, especially in, like, these times. But for a week of Pokemon Go's release, there was world peace, and I can at least appreciate that. But it is more likely that I will not play this because, you know, mobile game. Pikmin. I appreciate Pikmin for what it is and how unique it is. I just have no interest in playing those kind of games. Fire Emblem. Okay, so here's the thing about Fire Emblem, and I mentioned this in the stream that never happened. I would play Fire Emblem if it was more a dating sim than it is a tactical RPG. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And you can take that and think about it after the stream. ARMS. I like the fact that in ARMS, the head developer for ARMS was just better than everyone else. Other than that, they have, it was, I guess, me as a series. Oh boy, me as a series. You know, when I was doing the tier list, in the stream that never happened, I thought me was in the same vein as, like, where is it? Wait, where the heck is it? Wii Sports, Fit and Party and stuff like that. I thought it was in the same vein as that. So, I'm very glad to say that it is not. So, since I can separate Wii Sports from me goes down here because there's nothing remarkable about it to me. Shenmue. Also, nothing really remarkable about it either except the memes. I appreciate the Shenmue memes. As a game, I'd rather play Yakuza. Billy Hatcher. I've seen this a lot in buyer's guides. And actually, you know what? Billy Hatcher goes, like... I'm sorry, Billy Hatcher goes down here. Sorry, haven't seen enough of Billy Hatcher. Yeah, I honestly have not seen enough of Billy Hatcher. Persona 5, Persona 5 will definitely just be going down here because I have no interest in, like, the Persona titles at all. Even though everybody and their mother prefers the Persona titles over the original game series, which I am totally not seething about. I'm totally not seething about it right now. Please put some respect on Shin Megami Tensei. They even had a new game and it was actually pretty good. Except nobody cares because everybody and their mother just wants to play Persona. Come on, man. Come on. You literally have demonic Pokemon. You have an alternative demonic Pokemon, like, RPG game. And this is how it goes down. I'm so upset. Anyway, before I become even more upset, Catherine, this is a puzzle game, not interested. Mega Man Legends, it was there for me. I appreciated Roll from Mega Man Legends, and that's it. And yes, I appreciated her. Darkstalkers. I appreciate the fact that Darkstalkers, that the Darkstalkers community is trying so hard to get a new title in the series, or at least getting a remaster of the game, or whatever have you. Yeah, here's the issue. I mean, to me it was just there. To me it was just there. It really didn't have any, ooh man, big yawn right there. Yeah, side note, I am still very tired and lethargic, so my energy levels will probably be in the gutter once I get up to S tier. But maybe we'll add 50 more to this list by the time I'm done. Yes, Darkstalkers down here, Bionic Commando, insert Bionic Arm memes, and the newer titles in Bionic Commando were just pretty mid. From what I've seen and heard, DuckTales, the music in DuckTales, excellent. That's all I really can say about it, because I would not play these games. I don't think I want to play a game where the main character is a pogo-sticking, like, grandpa. Pac-Land. Wait, what's the difference between Pac-Man World and Pac-Land? Why is Pac-Land here? No, I'm putting Pac-Land down here. Anyway, we're gonna move up to D in the so-and-so. We're gonna start with Luigi's Mansion, which I was afraid of when I was younger, because I thought it was an actual horror game, which to me, when I was younger, that pretty much was a horror game. These days, it's barely horrific to me. Absolutely. But you know what? I can at least appreciate it for what it is as a game. I mean, it's even evolved into its own, like, series past, like, single entry, right? And a lot of people really do like Luigi's Mansion, so excellent. Excellent. I still would be so-and-so about playing it, though. Same thing with Yoshi. There have been many Yoshi games, and you know what? I'm just kind of lukewarm on it. Same with Pokemon. And this is specifically talking about Pokemon, the mainline series. There has been a lot of criticism levied towards the Pokemon mainline series these days, and here's what I have to say about it too. Yeah, I was a Pokemon denier even back in the day, so I have that one over you guys, so suck it. Anyway, yeah, no, but mainline Pokemon, I've only played one game, which was Pokemon X. That's it. And after that, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to play any more of the series. If it's just gonna repeat the same beats for every mainline title, this is not the kind of, like, game genre that'll basically, like, have me in for the loop. So, Pokemon, I'm sorry to say, your mainline series is kind of weak on me. Same with Xenoblade Chronicles. That is an excellent, on a technical level, excellent JRPG series, which I have no interest in, and because of, and the thing is that, you know what series I would have more interest in? Aside from, like, well, instead of Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenosaga. That was the Xeno that I grew up with. Out of Xenoblade, no, out of Xenogears, Xenosaga, and Xenoblade, I grew up with Xenosaga. And yes, Xenosaga is, for all intents and purposes, not really the, I wouldn't say it is the most groundbreaking of JRPGs on a technical level, but, you know, nostalgia is a drug, and, you know, I would put Xenosaga somewhere up here. It probably in great. Nights into Dreams. I'm gonna put Nights into Dreams down here. I'm sorry. Nights into Dreams will go down here. I feel like with what little I've seen of it, it is definitely in the tier of, I mean, that's a maybe, and I'd probably pass on it. Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage. Side-scrolling beat-em-up. Side-scrolling beat-em-ups around the time were also kind of jank as well. And because of that, there's only so few that I would actually play. Even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, I would be so-and-so on playing because, I don't know, I like the idea of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, it's just that there hasn't been one that has really, like, it's solid, but to me, it is so-and-so. It is a solid genre that should get more entries, but for me personally, it's just, the game genre is just so-and-so on me. Mega Man Star Force. That is a Mega Man that, actually, you know what, I'm just gonna put this down here. No, Mega Man Star Force is down here. I've barely seen anything about Mega Man Star Force, so, yeah. Dead Rising, I have seen enough of. Dead Rising 1 and 2, because of those entries, it basically saves itself from being down here in the maybe and the not even remotely for me tier. Because Dead Rising 1 and 2, excellent entries. They are, they may be jank as hell, but, there were solid zombie arcadey what? I forgot how to speak for a second there. Dead Rising 1 and 2 are very solid arcadey survival, like, very arcadey survival, like, action games. The only thing that I didn't like about Dead Rising 1 and 2 is the time limit, and, while it does facilitate and actually enhance, like, speedrunners in that aspect, for me, personally, as a casual gamer, that, having a universal time limit on a game in this kind of, like, genre, I'm sorry, but it is, it's too stressful for me. So, no. Strider, I've seen enough of. This is good for, like, a one-off for me. And that's basically it. Strider is a cool character, though. I played him a lot in Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Final Fight. Final Fight, is Final Fight the side-scroller, or is Final Fight the fighting game? One of those two. I'm still lukewarm on it. I'd rather play King of Fighters. That's when everybody from, like, this franchise, I guess, and also other franchises too, just get together. I could just play as them. Like I said, so-and-so on side-scrollers. If this is actually the side-scrolling beat-em-up, actually I could just look it up right now. Is Final Fight a side-scrolling beat-em-up? Let's see. It is! It's the one with Cody! Wait a minute. Oh. Oh god, I feel terrible. Okay, yeah, Final Fight is the... I got it confused with Streets of Rage. I got it confused with Streets of Rage. Well, do I even deserve to put it up here? You know what? As compensation for the fact of me being an idiot, Final Fight, the game that brought us Mike Hagger, Cody, and Guy, it will be up here. I will appreciate Final Fight. But outside of that, I probably can't put it in the pretty good tier. Just because of my, outlook on side-scrolling beat-em-ups. There's only one side-scrolling beat-em-up that I really liked back in the day. And that was Dungeon Fighter Online. Man. I wish Dungeon Fighter Online, like, just... I wish there was a launch of, like, DFO Classic, where all the power creep has just been dialed down, and the game got back to, just being a solid side-scrolling, beat-em-up, online, like, game. Where combos are king. God, that would have been amazing. But, as it stands right now... DFO as a game has gone the wayside of just power creep, And can you one-up the power creep? Yes, we can one-up the power creep. Go into a room, fart on everything with like one button. Go to the next room, fart on everything with the second button. It's not... What happened to it? Cool new characters, absolutely. Just, I wish there were more, I wish there was more finesse to the combos instead of just chaining skills together. Man, can I just get DFO Classic? I would turn my, like, opinion around on side-scrolling beat-em-ups if there was, like, DFO Classic. Beautiful Joe. We're gonna move on to Beautiful Joe. Beautiful Joe, super stylish, definitely, like, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up again. It has style, so that puts it over other side-scrolling beat-em-ups for me, but other than that, I just saw my cousins play it, and I like that move where Beautiful Joe could just... Or is that just in Marvel vs. Capcom 3? The move where he jumps up into the air, then you can just spam attack, and then he'll just be in mid-air, just plowing away at nothing most of the time. I like that move. Pac-Man. What's there to say? It's Pac-Man. It's literally Pac-Man. I will play Pac-Man. Will I enjoy Pac-Man? I mean, that's a good question. There's a reason why it's in the D tier, so yeah, I can play Pac-Man. It's just that I will be lukewarm on Pac-Man. Now we're going up here, Mario Tennis. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Yes, I did love Mario Tennis. Maybe not my favorite of the Mario sports games. The Mario Tennis up here, Super Mario Strikers also up here as well. Both of those, for a single entry, Mario sports titles were solid, just not my favorites. Diddy Kong Racing. Why play Diddy Kong Racing when you could play Mario Kart? That's literally what I gotta say about it. Kirby Air Ride, very jank, but very, like... It was very charming. The battle mode in it was also pretty fun too, from what I can remember to have played of it when I was younger. Animal Crossing. I'm not into farming sims, but in terms of comfort, Animal Crossing, super comfy. If I ever got more into Animal Crossing, you can bet your ass I'll be looking into the lore of every single villager you'd be able to get in the game, and thank God I was not in that era of Tumblr. Splatoon! Yes, the Japanese love this game. They freaking love Splatoon. God, why do they love Splatoon so much? I mean, I get it. I still ask why, though. I still ask why as a formality. But, if I got... Okay, I would play Splatoon. It seems like a very fun game. It really does. The issue here is... I mean, I feel like I'm kind of too late of getting into the series, so I'll just wait for the next mainline Splatoon title, which is going to be Splatoon 3, right? Yeah, Splatoon 3. I mean, I do like the fan art for Splatoon, though. Fan art's pretty good. Memorable characters, too. Yeah, I guess. I can't really say much of this. I've seen enough of Splatoon to put it up here in the pretty good tier, because I know I would actually enjoy playing Splatoon. It is a unique take on, like, objective base, like, team, like, TPSs. It is a more unique take on it. I just, I can't put it anything higher than this until I actually get into it. But when will that be? I don't know. Brain Age. Brain Age I played a lot of when I was younger, and my brain age, I will tell you, is still in the 40s. In fact, actually, because I'm, like, near 30 right now, you could say my brain age might be, like, in, like, the 50s or 60s now. Brain don't work. Brain has several cobwebs in it. It is barely eking by right now. God, my energy is depleting right now. Oh my god, my energy is depleting right now. We're only halfway through. Oh my goodness, we're only halfway through. This is... So, maybe we might just make this the part 1 stream? Great. Fantastic. We'll just keep going on. Puyo Puyo. I mean, I'd rather play Tetris than Puyo Puyo, but Puyo Puyo is definitely a nice entry point into, like, that kind of, like, puzzle game. I wouldn't be angry about playing it. It seems really cute and really, like, at least interesting enough for me to play, but it wouldn't be my first choice. Same thing with Super Monkey Ball. I did play this when I was younger, and to be completely honest, you know what? It's in a weird spot for me. I probably would be playing Super Monkey Ball a lot if I was younger, but knowing myself, even though I would play it a lot, that wouldn't necessarily mean I actually like it. It's weird. It's like, visually, Super Monkey Ball is more in the, like, spectrum of, I'll play it because of just the gameplay loop. The gameplay loop will have me, like, hooked on it, but that won't necessarily mean that it's super high on my I like this series, like, list, you know? Golden Axe. Golden Axe is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Please tell me it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I don't want to make a fool of myself again. Golden Axe. Golden Axe. Please tell me it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Yes, perfect. Okay, yes, Golden Axe. Totally would play. This is my aesthetic of side-scrolling beat-em-up. Yes, this is my jam right here. Or it would be my jam if I actually played it. I've only seen people play it. Now here's the thing. Golden Axe is gonna be right here. But I will say though too that there is one side-scrolling beat 'em up arcade game that I would put all the way up here in A if it appears on this list, and that is the Dungeons and Dragons arcade side-scrolling beat-em-ups. Those are fantastic. I love those games. Like Shadows over Mystara, amazing, love it. So yeah, I would put that in the A. Golden Axe down here. Space Channel 5. Okay, so here's the thing. We're getting into the Sega bias. We are getting into Sega bias. I'm a very biased Sega fan. And funnily enough, it is not for Sonic. It is not for Sonic. My Sega bias is towards, like, their whole aesthetic of, like, game series. Like, that turn of the millennium futurist kind of, like just turn of the millennium style, like, games coming out of, like, Japan at the time. That is my aesthetic of, like, game. So, Space Channel 5, I will put up here. I would totally play it. Okay, specifically for this one, do I like the aesthetic, though? Let me go look at Space Channel 5. Space Channel 5, I will say it is okay. It is okay. Yeah, it's okay. Actually, you know what? This wouldn't be my first choice. It looks okay. I'm sorry, but like it looks kind of something is not hitting right about like this kind of futuristic like art direction for the game and style. Yeah. I'll probably put Space Channel 5 up here still though. It's a rhythm game. It's probably not that hard, so I'd give rhythm games a shot. House of the Dead. I would say this is okay, arcade style shooters that are like horror based. I still would totally play them because they are first and foremost about the combat, and the style of the game is just, you know, it just is. So that is a weird way to describe it, but you know what I mean. House of the Dead, I would absolutely play like House of the Dead. Like, I love arcade shooters, arcadey shooters, like on-rails shooters like this. These are just really fun times at the arcade. I remember wanting to play House of the Dead, like, was it 3 or 4? 3 or 4 a lot at a certain point when I was younger, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because I was just so drawn to just watch the previews. Like, I didn't play these games because I was drawn to just watching, like, the gameplay demo that showed on the screen of the arcade machine. Like, my brain literally went like fried, because it's like, whoa, this looks so cool. And this is even like, okay, this is like somewhat horror, right? This is somewhat horror, and yet I still went, yo, this is actually like, this is actually pretty cool. So yeah, I appreciate House of the Dead for being the exception to my rule about horror. Skies of Arcadia. God, Skies of Arcadia to me is the quintessential Dreamcast JRPG. It is the quintessential Dreamcast JRPG, and that much I can appreciate of it. If I had the time to play JRPGs, I would try to play Skies of Arcadia. But on an aesthetic level, this kind of fits in the same spot as like something like Dark Cloud would for me. I mean, they look kind of similar. Not really at all, but they're in the same years, right? They were within the same years of each other. I appreciate both of these. So yeah, both Skies and Dark Cloud, even though they're both two different companies, I think, right? Now then, Capcom, Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. I'd rather watch this than play it. I'm sorry to say, I'd rather watch this than play it, but Ace Attorney, very solid in and of itself. Ghosts and Goblins. Now we're going into Namco. Yes, Namco. Ghosts and Goblins may be extremely hard, but every entry in the series so far that I've seen is pretty good, despite its extreme difficulty. So, yes, I would probably rate the series pretty good here. I don't know, it just seems like, it just seems fun to play once you get good at it. Digimon Digital Monsters. The only reason it's up here is because of nostalgia and the Digimon JRPG game on the PS1. What was it called? Shit, give me a moment. Digimon PS1. It was Digimon World. It was literally just called Digimon World. That, I, for some reason, have such fond memories of this game specifically. Don't ask me why. I probably watched my cousins play that game. But, man, for some reason, it just fills me with, like, a warm feeling every time I see, like, every time I encounter this game out, like, in the wilds of, like, YouTube recommendations. I don't know. I have a very high opinion of it, despite me not ever playing it and just watching my cousins play it. Tales of. I'm putting this up here because I recognize as a series, Tales of is pretty, like, solid almost all the way through. And this is according to my taste in JRPGs. If I were to play Tales of these days, maybe it wouldn't hit. But I know for a fact that if I played Tales of when I was younger, I would be obsessed with Tales of as a series. I miss that boat, but knowing myself well enough to know that, yep, I would definitely play the series when I was younger, if I was younger. Yes. Yeah, that's why it's up here. Okay, B tier. Oh lord, here it comes. Super Mario Maker. Super Mario Maker. I would absolutely play Super Mario Maker more than these down here because of just how much content you can get out of this game because of the community. Even though a lot of the content is extremely hard Kaizo-style levels. And you know what? That's totally fine with me too, because sometimes when it comes to platformers, I mean, there's a certain degree of masochism that I will admit to have. Anyway, Paper Mario. I loved Super Paper Mario, and that is the one I played from start to finish, and then outside of that, maybe I wouldn't play the other games, but Super Paper Mario was such a good game to me at the time I played it, which was as a kid, that, yeah, I'll rate Paper Mario to be pretty high up here. Donkey Kong. If I played this when I was younger, as a series, this would be extremely solid for me. Same thing with Wario Land. First of all, Donkey Kong, I would love this on an aesthetic level because the rare aesthetic of these kind of games back in the day, super appealing to me, super appealing. Wario Land, it was just a fun, like, the entry that I played for the Game Boy Advance was just a really fun entry, just a really fun game in general that I loved playing. Even though it did have that thing where, like, there was that whole, like, oh, hurry up, you're now timed, you have to escape the stage once you get this thing at the end of the level. Yeah, that was kind of stressful. But outside of that, it was just a very solid game. I really liked it. Now, are there other Wario Land titles of the same quality? Possibly. Maybe they're worse. I don't know. But just that alone puts it up here for me. Metroid. So, unfortunately, because Metroid Prime is included in this, I will have to put it only in B. And I know that's sacrilegious to say, but I do not vibe with Metroid Prime at all as entries in the mainline Metroid series. If it was the classic Metroidvania Metroids and only that, absolutely 100% it would be up here. Even though I barely played, like, the series at all. I've seen enough Metroid to know that I would totally jam with this. Especially if I got introduced to it when I was younger. I would have been a very big Metroid fan had I played this series when I was younger. Yeah, same thing with Star Fox. Well, actually, I played Star Fox more than Metroid, but I would put Star Fox down here in B because Star Fox Adventures exists. If it was just Star Fox 64, Star Fox, like, or Star Fox Assault, and those kind of games, dude, easy high B still. Easy high B still. I can't rate Star Fox in A because even though it's as a series, I did like it. I didn't like it as much as these guys up here. I do appreciate the on-rails, like, ship combat of the game. It's so nostalgic for me. It might just be nostalgia, but that's why I'm putting it in great. New Pokemon Snap, or just Pokemon Snap in general, also great. Even though it's a short game, it's just so comfy to play. And it was so awesome just to see Pokemon back in the day just, like, chilling out in, like, the wilderness as you're just, like, driving through on, like, tracks, mind you, driving through their, like, habitats and throwing apples at them and disrupting their, like, way of life. I love it. Punch-Out. Super Punch-Out, or Punch-Out Wii or whatever. Other Punch-Out games also really solid too. But Punch-Out on the Wii basically puts this up in, like, the great tier for me. I grinded that game out so hard that I ended up really, like, getting good at the game. And then I reached a certain point where I was like, well, I mean, I'm good enough at the game, so I'll just play something else. Once you just fight everyone and start, like, muscle memorying the fights, that is a word, once you start to muscle memory the fights, it really just starts to just fall flat on you. But the experience of going through, like, these games, like, from the beginning is just solid, super fun. I love the references, even though the characterizations is pretty, especially for these days, it would be extremely insensitive, but back then, it's very cartoonish, and I appreciate that. Clubhouse 51. I'm just putting this up here because this is just a very, like, cost-effective and solid, just singular game, because it's 51 of, like, the most, like, generic and classic, like, tabletop games you can have just in one game. One purchase, 51 tabletop games you can play online with people, I think you can play online with people. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, you got, like, chess, checkers, Go, you got, what is it? You got poker, you got, shoot, what else you got? You got dice, you got Connect 4, you got Connect 4, or was it Connect 4? Yeah, Connect 4. You got a whole bunch of games here. And for cost effectiveness, that's just really good to me. So that's why I rate Clubhouse games. I rate it as great. Also, this is one of the most safest games to play as like a streamer. I'm sorry to say, this is one of the safest games to play. I don't know why, but it's like, you're not gonna run into any sort of issues just playing this. At least I don't think so. Sonic the Hedgehog as a series. Let's move on to Sonic the Hedgehog as a series. This I'm putting up in great because that includes Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and Sonic Adventure 1 on the Dreamcast, even though Sonic Adventure 1 was extremely jank, and so was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Both of those hold a special place in my heart, like, well enough to land this in B, but not only that, you also got Sonic Generations. Sonic Generations was really good entry in like the Sonic franchise. And on top of that, Sonic Frontiers was not bad either. But unfortunately, I have to knock this down back to a B for what could have been an A because Sonic 06 exists. Unfortunately, if I could just separate Sonic 06 from this, maybe I'd put it in like very high B or like A here. But no, Sonic 06 exists, so that's why it's down here. Sonic Riders. Not every entry was great in Sonic Riders, especially the Connect game. Good God, there was a Connect version of Sonic Riders. That is... wow. But the original Sonic Riders, really good. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. Jet Set Radio, 100%. 1000%. This is basically based on the style of the game and the music. Okay, if it was just the music, I could not like rate it anywhere on this list, but the game is very nostalgic for me because this was one of my first Xbox games. Jet Set Radio Future. Jet Set Radio Future was one of my first Xbox games, and I loved the shit out of it. I loved it. It was so stylish, and that was during the time in my life where I was so big into like X game style, like, okay, well, I call it X game style, but anything in the spectrum of like skateboarding, rollerblading, BMX, like those kind of sports. I was really big into that just as a gamer, not actually doing them in real life, because me doing anything physical in real life involves just me crumbling to dust. But yeah, in terms of just style, nostalgia, and the music, which is the cherry on top for me, Jet Set Radio, up here. I should play Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. If I play Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, it would probably basically be the same for me. Especially because they got Hideki to do the music again. Well, again, no. They got Hideki to do the music for what is essentially the spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, which is Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. I love it. I need to play it. Daytona USA. Just a solid arcade racer. I mean, we all know about the meme song and like the first stage, but outside of that, it's just a really solid, nostalgic-looking racer. I would not be angry about playing Daytona USA. In fact, if you take me to an arcade and you show me a Daytona machine, I would basically just gun for it. Yeah. Virtua Fighter. Maybe not my favorite fighting game series, but it is very solid. For being like one of the first 3D... It was either one of the first 3D like fighters or the first 3D fighter. And because of that, it is up here. It is definitely up here. The only thing I could say though about it is what the hell was like the ninja called? Because I played Wolf Hawkfield and El Blaze, but I also played the ninja, and unfortunately, I want to call the ninja Ryu Hayabusa, but it's not Ryu Hayabusa because Ryu Hayabusa is part of the Tecmo, franchise. Well, the Tecmo company. So I don't know who the ninja was. I could look it up, but I guess I'll just not. Let's just move on. Oh yeah, by the way, hopefully the new Virtual Fighter game is pretty good and has rollback netcode and is also like pretty solid and it can compete with Tekken, which is kind of well, it's kind of a tough hill to climb. Project Diva. I mean, it's Project Diva. Is there anything more to say about it? It's not my style of it is definitely not my style of rhythm game because I don't like Ovsu's style. Like, oh man, look at all this shit on the screen, you gotta go and like hit. It just gets in the way of the music video in the background. Just so much like information just being like thrown at you at once that you can't really pay attention to the banger music that's, well, the banger music video that's happening on in the background, basically. So, hey, Miku, you're great. I would vote for you for president. Outside of that, I'd play your game for maybe like a couple of hours, then hit like the difficulty wall and then stop. Mega Man. I mean, Mega Man's pretty like ubiquitous as just a solid side scroller, right? Yeah, it's just a solid side scroller. Maybe not my favorite franchise within like the Mega Man sphere. I will get to that soon, but yeah, I mean, if you make me play a Mega Man game, I wouldn't be angry about that because they're just completely fine. Same thing with X. I think Mega Man and Mega Man X are similar enough that I can put them next to each other. Oh, and here's some sacrilegious placement here. Bayonetta and Devil May Cry. Now, normally people would put Bayonetta and Devil May Cry in like an A or an S tier as like series, but I'm sorry to say, but this is my tier list. And in my tier list, I will tell you that I am not super into just I'm not super into this kind of like hack and slash genre of like game. Like the kind of hack and slash subgenre that Bayonetta and Devil May Cry are putting out, where it's super high skill ceiling and very high like difficulty, that ain't for me. I'm sorry. That's not for me. I love the characters. They're amazing characters in like both of these series. Hell, Virgil is one of my favorite video game characters ever. Despite it, you know, being Virgil, but Virgil is still one of my favorites. And even then, I can't rate the game series he comes from as higher than this because, man, I just can't do the high skill ceiling hack and slash combo based like games like this. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm too peanut brain to, you know, do this. I'm too peanut brain for it. Oh, Okami. I would play Okami simply because of the art direction alone. It is such an awesome art direction. It's such an awesome direction. Like, such a unique art style. Well, such a memorable art style, like, for a game. Like, I think Okami is, just based on art style alone, should be put into, like, a video game, like, museum. Yeah. I just, sometimes, okay, when Okami was, like, making the rounds, I just couldn't help but, like, appreciate just how pretty it looked. Yeah. So if I played it, maybe I wouldn't jive with, like, the game. Maybe I wouldn't jive with the game itself. but, I would appreciate, just all the set pieces in it. The set pieces and art direction. Here's the thing about me. Art direction takes, a game series, or even, like, individual game far from me. If the game looks pretty, then I will play it. I will more than likely play it than other games. Katamari Damacy. This is one of them too. I like the art direction for Katamari Damacy. Also, very comfy game. Yeah, surprisingly a very comfy game, despite the fact that you are an astral being that's essentially transmuting several hundred innocents into like a giant like celestial body and like ruining their lives, and also they're just you're ruining a lot of people. You're ruining a lot of people's lives with this game, but that's fine because you're just trying to make sure that the sky doesn't disappear or something. I don't know the lore of Katamari. I'm sorry, I don't know the lore, but it's weird. It's a weird game, but I appreciate weird and comfy games. Katamari, over here. All right, here we go. A and excellent tier. These ones I will just sing the praises of, and then up here I will I am a simp for these games up here. Excellent, Yakuza. Good lord, Yakuza is the epitome of I've barely played any of these games, but every time I see Yakuza being played or just clips from the games, I'm immediately just like, I need to play this game. This seems like such a fun game to play. Maybe not Yakuza 7. Maybe not Yakuza 7, because 7, it's definitely going for a more JRPG type of combat style that I'm not really into. I'm sorry. I like the beat 'em up. The beat 'em up type of gameplay that all the rest of the Yakuza games have. Yeah, I'm definitely more into that. But outside of that, yeah, no. Super solid game series. One that is very highly rated, and I appreciate the fact that it has gained the status it has in the gaming community these days. No more are the days of Yakuza being like Yakuza as a game series. No more are the days of it just being like, oh wow, and a sleeper title in the whole gaming sphere. Now it's one of the ones where people will sing the praises of, a lot of people, and I appreciate that. Super Mario. I'm only putting this up here because Super Mario, I mean, it's just ubiquitous. It's literally just ubiquitous. There's enough titles in the Super Mario franchise that are just solid that I can't not put it up here. WarioWare. I loved WarioWare, playing that series growing up, and even though I probably wouldn't buy every entry in WarioWare, if I had the opportunity to just pick up every WarioWare title for cheap or something, I would totally do that, because these are just nostalgia for me. Especially the WarioWare that was on the Wii. I played that a lot. Mario Golf. This is my Mario sports title. Mario Golf. And I will say this too, I love just arcadey golf games. I love arcadey golf games so much. Hot Shots Golf was my jam when I was growing up. It was my jam. Aw, man. Too bad that franchise is dead, but at least we still got Mario Golf. Mario Golf is really solid. And I think the latest entry is also really good too. I have not played it though, but from what I've seen, it looks like a good time. So yeah, I would absolutely not be against playing more Mario Golf. And on top of that, Kirby. Maybe not the most difficult of franchises of all time. I'd even say it's pretty easy. It's definitely one of the easier side-scrolling platformers. But despite that, it's really nice. It's really comfy. I think the reason why I like Kirby a lot is because it's just super comfy. I mean, it's not like Kirby isn't solid. Kirby is a very solid game. It's a very solid franchise. I don't think there has been a bad Kirby title. Maybe one that is so-and-so, but I think most of the entries in Kirby are just solid across the board. So yeah, I'm putting that up there. Pokemon Stadium. Okay, so the reason why I put Pokemon Stadium up here, I put actual Pokemon down here, is because in Stadium, and I will also add in Pokemon Coliseum as well. Those basically cut out all the parts that I don't like about Pokemon, because the only thing that I like about Pokemon is the battling, making your teams and battling. That's all I like out of Pokemon, and Pokemon Stadium is perfect for that for me. On top of that too, the mini games were also pretty banger as well, but everybody talks about the mini games, so I'm going to talk about the part of Pokemon Stadium that I also do like as well. Wait, or was Pokemon Coliseum the one with the mini games? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Please tell me it's a... Okay, Pokemon Stadium was the one with the mini games. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. I haven't outed myself as an idiot again. Huh. Anyway, yeah. The only reason Pokemon Stadium is up here because it cuts out the fat. Cuts out the fat that I don't like. Mother as a series. I just can't not, like, put it up here because it's such a unique, like, franchise in terms of, like, design, art direction, and then just, like, how memorable it is. Even though I haven't played, like, a single entry, I've seen enough of Mother, like, as a franchise throughout the years that I'm definitely one of the... I'm definitely gonna try to get that fan remake of, like, Earthbound that's apparently being worked on right now. And I appreciate the fact that that can actually happen because the owner of the IP for Mother as a franchise is still the original creators. I don't think Nintendo doesn't have the rights to Mother, but the original creator does, and the original creator appreciates the fan projects for, like, Mother, so it's really good to actually have that kind of, like, safety net. It's really nice to have that kind of safety net. So, whenever Earthbound, that fan-made, like, remaster comes out, I'm playing it. 100%. So here's F-Zero. One of the most neglected franchises of, like, Nintendo's entire roster of, like, IPs. One of the most neglected. These were such fun racing games. Like, F-Zero, like, F-Zero X, F-Zero GX. Just even like the NES or like SNES F-Zero titles, those were so good. Those were so fun. This is like the epitome of arcade racing game to me. And the hilarious part is that this was never in any of the arcades. I don't think there was an F-Zero arcade machine at all. And that's also what makes it even more amazing. Wait, actually, I think F-Zero GX had an arcade machine. Never mind. You know what? I recant what I said. F-Zero GX had an arcade machine. And if there were still arcade machines out for, like, F-Zero GX, I would absolutely be on that first thing if I ever see one. But yeah, F-Zero GX. Oh, I mean, just F-Zero as a franchise. I hope there's, like... I hope we just have the opportunity to get a new title down the line. I just want a new F-Zero title. I know Nintendo just wants to, you know, wants to add new twists to, like, franchises to justify making a new game, but F-Zero has been abandoned for so long. You just need to come out with, like, like, a new entry, or just remaster, like, GX or something, and people would be happy about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up say it. Just come out with an actual, like, remaster or, like, a re-up of, you know, F-Zero X or GX, and people will just be happy with that. Anyway, Rhythm Heaven. Okay, Rhythm Heaven. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but, like, super comfy, super fun, unique rhythm game, super nice super unique art direction, very memeable. This was... Okay, Rhythm Heaven has been, like, a meme. Has been memed on. In the good way. I saw a lot of Rhythm Heaven memes back in the day, and that's really nice to see out of, like, such a niche franchise in the rhythm gaming sphere, like Rhythm Heaven. I'm sure it's well respected, especially in Japan, but for here, I barely see anything about Rhythm Heaven. But I wish that Rhythm Heaven got more, like, respect. Well, actually, not necessarily respect, but more of a spotlight in, like, the West. But as long as Rhythm Heaven is able to stand on its 2 feet in its home country, I'm fine with that. Also, so I want to move on to Nintendogs. I played so much Nintendogs. Man, honestly, in terms of just the echelon of comfy games, Nintendogs is 100% up there. In fact, might be in like the S tier of like comfy games. But as a series, I can't put it up in S because... Yeah, I can't put it up in S because it doesn't really have the involved kind of gameplay that I want out of like a typical game I would play. I just played Nintendogs a lot because it was just addictive. I didn't necessarily like the gameplay because it was just more like sim gameplay. You're taking care of a dog. You want to make sure your dog is the strongest dog on the block. Or something like that. Oh man, if you neglected your dog, oh no, it runs away. Or maybe like the CPA for like animals just comes by and takes your dog away from you because you forgot to feed it for like 5 years or something. But yeah, other than that, I just have nothing but fond memories. So yeah, Nintendogs up here. Wii Sports. There's, for anyone that has played extensively Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, those two are the main reasons why I'm putting the Sports Fit and Party franchise up here in excellent. It's just, I don't know. Nintendo hit a home run when it comes to when it came to this series in particular. They hit a home run because everybody knows about Wii Sports and Wii Sports like related franchises. Even the ones that are very dubious at best, like Wii Music. Anything with the any game with the tagline of Wii in it, it will probably gain some form of like notoriety, for better or for worse. But I'm putting it in excellent in this series because Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort exist, and that was definitely a big part of my gaming youth. I will say, and also apparently my mom as well. She liked to play boxing. Sonic Racing. Sonic Racing, even though it's no Mario Party, it is still, like, in terms of just gameplay alone, pretty up there. It is actually pretty up there in terms of just, like, this is literally, like, if you don't have any, like, attachment to any Nintendo IPs, then just get Sonic Racing, because, I mean, that's just... You're just getting, like, a kart racing arcade game for Sega franchises. And honestly, that's enough for me. If the gameplay is solid enough, and the set pieces you use are you know, good enough, then shoot. I'm down for it. I like kart-style racing games. Like Mario Kart. Sonic Racing, also up there as well. Can't say much more other than, yeah, this is my Sega bias. This is my Sega bias talking through me again. Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi. This is just, in its most simplest form, just a really just fun, turn off your brain, get from point A to point B arcade game. And a game that nobody can ever play anymore on stream unless they cut out, like, the music entirely. And if you cut out the music to Crazy Taxi, you basically take, like, away a large part of what what makes Crazy Taxi. The music for Crazy Taxi, it's all, like, licensed and copyrighted music, but it's just punk rock at its best. It is punk rock at its best. And if you take the punk rock away from Crazy Taxi, it just loses a lot of its identity. And because of that, you can't... Playing this game is like the minefield of getting a copyright strike. Just because of all the copyrighted music. Which is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. But yeah, I love Crazy Taxi. Panzer Dragoon. Yeah, this fits in the same spectrum as, like, Star Fox, but I like the aesthetic of, like, Panzer Dragoon, like, a little better. A little better, yeah. I think it's unique enough to that kind of, like, fantasy aesthetic, the gameplay and all, that I'm gonna put Panzer Dragoon up here compared to Star Fox. I don't know, I feel like I'd be into Panzer Dragoon more than I would Star Fox if only Panzer Dragoon actually had more notoriety over, like, in the West. Now, speaking of games that I am very angry that don't get enough notoriety in the West is Shin Megami Tensei, because like I said earlier, people just want to play Persona, and like, man, they put no respect on the original series that came before Persona. This is literally demon Pokemon. This is Pokemon with demons. How could you not, like, at least be somewhat interested in that? But no, people just didn't care until Persona came out. And when Persona came out, people still don't care about Shin Megami Tensei. That makes me really, really sad. Like, Nocturne is, like, in my opinion, of the JRPGs that I've seen and played, one of the best ones. Absolutely one of the best ones. But yeah, Alita, at the very least, I can get Nocturne on Steam. Well, I say I can get it. Still haven't gotten it yet. I'll get it eventually. Yeah, don't worry, I'll get it eventually, maybe. Oh, we're going back to Mega Man franchises, and, yeah, Battle Network is totally more my jam than like, the mainline titles. And I think the reason why is two very weird things. One, not so weird, though, which is the PvP. Like, I've seen competitive Battle Network, and it's actually really interesting. It's very, like, it's basically a card, it's a hybrid card battling, like, type of, like, gameplay and, like, PvP style that is just, you don't really see it around a lot. There are some indie games that try to emulate Battle Network style of gameplay, but really, not a lot of people, not a lot of devs actually have, like, dove into it yet. As far as I know. Like, there's a lot of potential with that kind of, like, gameplay style of Battle Network. And hopefully more indie devs try to make, like, games centered around that. But for right now, there are ways to play online Battle Network that's not through, proprietary, well, maybe not proprietary, what's the word for it? Not through official, like, Nintendo, like, consoles. And this has been the way people have been playing it for so long. Wait, Nintendo consoles? Just consoles in general. I'll say consoles in general. But yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be angry about, just watching PvP gameplay of, like, Battle Network. Also, here's the second reason why Battle Network is rated so highly for me. It's because of network transmission. I know, network transmission is not, like, it's probably not the best of side-scrolling Mega Man, but God, I just love the aesthetic of network transmission. I just really like the aesthetic of network transmission. That art direction and art style for the game just hit the right note for me. It hit the absolute right note for me. Man. All I just wish, though, I mean, is there gonna be a Mega Man Battle Network 7? That's what I wonder. If there's gonna be a Mega Man Battle Network 7 down the line at some point, you know, maybe I might actually get into that. Because I remember playing Battle Network when I was younger. Well, though mostly network transmission, though. But I did play, like, some of the titles when I was younger, just borrowing, like, my cousin's, like, Game Boy Advance, basically. I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd still say it's an excellent series. It's an excellent series, not in the way, like, people would typically experience it. But I would still say it's excellent. Now, in terms of other excellent series, Tekken and Street Fighter, these are just the ubiquitous fighting games. What can I say about it? Tekken, in my opinion, is the most casual-friendly fighter, because it is very easy for casual players to go, oh, I'm going to press a bunch of buttons, but the thing about Tekken that's great is that every button in every direction does a different move, so it seems like you're doing a lot. Even though a lot of casual players would just go like, oh, I'm just gonna spam, like, demon kicks as Kazuya or something, demon spin or something, because that's such a good move, and then your opponent blocks low all the time, and then they're left wondering, man, why can't I beat you? But anyway, if ideally the casual player would just be to just press buttons, they would actually work out in Tekken on a casual level, because Tekken is just that kind of game where, I don't know, it has a very high skill ceiling. Tekken has a very high skill ceiling and a very, like, punish game. But on a casual level, you don't really get that. And that's kind of cool to me. That's kind of cool. Street Fighter, though, I would say it's less casual friendly. Definitely less casual friendly, because you can't really press buttons. You can't really just press buttons. And expect to go far with it. But still, it's one of the ubiquitous fighting game franchises, and for that, I will put it here, and also Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom is just... It's Marvel. It's Marvel. It's literally Marvel. MVC is the fighting game franchise that I believe is in such a weird limbo state right now. It's in a renaissance, but also a period of, like, death, because officially the series is dead. But okay, stream is back. Okay, the series is basically dead, right? The series may basically be dead, but the thing here is that the community has taken MVC3, like UMVC3, and then just reverse engineered the game to such an extent that they are able to just add new characters and breathe life back into the franchise. Yeah, and I've seen extensive footage of that from, like, channels like Maximilian Dude and stuff like that. It's really insane just how much passion the Marvel vs. Capcom community has for their game, despite the game being an unbalanced, like, trash bin. In the best possible way, in my opinion. It's literally an unbalanced trash bin, but it is one of the iconic video game franchises on a competitive level. On a competitive and, like hardcore level in terms of fighting game franchises. Appreciate it. Okay, and now we have S tier, which are... These are ubiquitously my jams. So far, these are my jams. These are the games that I will absolutely not be, I will absolutely not, ever not put in my top here. Wait, I got confused for a second there. Here's a better way of saying it. These are basically the games that I will never not have in, like, my top 10. Actually, no, my top 10 would fluctuate the more games come out. Well, these are basically the series that I have no, like, second thoughts about, like, putting in, like, my upper echelon of, like, of the games. And I'll go through each one of them from bottom top, actually. Soul Calibur. This is my fighting game. This is my fighting game. It's not... On a technical level, it's... I would say it definitely fills a niche. I wouldn't say it's as good as, like, Tekken, for example, but I love Soul Calibur for the fact of it, a lot of like the side content in Soul Calibur. I mean, the gameplay is already great, but the side content, the Creator Warrior, just all of that stuff in the Soul Calibur franchise, the aesthetic of it, it's just so, like, I just jam with it. Like, I don't know what else to say, but this is my fighting game franchise. Would I play this online? Oh, hell no. I would not play this online. Or, like, in a competitive fashion. But in terms of just... I just want to make characters, make wacky characters, do some side content, play this weird, like, Fire Emblem style, like, side mode in Soul Calibur 3, or, like, an adventure mode in Soul Calibur 2. It just has that. It just has that. Very nostalgic for me. That's why Soul Calibur's here. Monster Hunter. I'm a very late bloomer into Monster Hunter. But Monster Hunter, already one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's very rewarding to play. Despite being initially clunky for like a new player, it's very rewarding to play. And the difficulty of the games are actually pretty fair. They are extremely fair, in my opinion. That is, unless you get into my favorite entry in the franchise, which is Monster Hunter Frontier. If you get into Frontier, there are so many unfair fights in that like game by nature of the fact that it is an online game with power creep. A lot of the later fights in that entry are so unfair to the naked eye that like it just spits in the face of what like Monster Hunter is in terms of balancing. But that's why I really like Frontier. That's why I really like Frontier. Frontier is my favorite entry in Monster Hunter because of that. And and if it were any other like game series, I would have just been like, okay, this is I don't know about this, man. I would have been like very iffy about it. But for some reason for Monster Hunter, I'm totally fine with the difficulty just being scaled to such extreme levels, because it's really interesting to see the spectacle of... Are we back? Okay. It's very interesting to see the spectacle of high difficulty fights in such an old engine such as Frontier's like MH2 like engine. Like, because Frontier uses the Monster Hunter DOS engine, but it's interesting to see just how ridiculous like difficulty can get in such an old engine like that. That's why I like Frontier so much. Also, it also has my favorite iteration of the Switch Axe. I'm just gonna say it has my favorite iteration of the Switch Axe. Yeah, it's a lightsaber. It is a lightsaber. So right here. We're gonna talk about this in a bit. Mario Party. Mario Party. If you tell me that we're gonna play Mario Party, I would not bat an eye, and I would be totally all in on it. Mario Party is just a very fun time, no matter what, I would say. It's just... it destroys friendships, but no matter what, you're going to be having a good time playing Mario Party. It's one of the most safest choices of just video games to play with a bunch of people. Nobody's angry about playing a Mario Party unless it was like some of the more recent titles outside of like the most recent one. You know, the Mario Party titles where you're just like on... you're not even going around a board, you're just like on like maybe like a ship or something, and just going around the stage, and you're just all together, and it's just weird. But outside of that, Mario Party as a franchise, very solid games, like, all around. It's my favorite, not because I like it as much as these other franchises, but it's just such a... it is a no-brainer when it comes to party games. Now, when it comes to karting games, though, Mario Kart. I mean, there's not really much to explain about Mario Kart. Mario Kart is the ubiquitous, like, casual, arcade karting, like, game, I guess you could just call it. Really, there's not really much to say other than that it's Mario Kart. Most of the titles in Mario Kart are really fun to play. Like, Mario Kart just... I don't know. How can I describe it? It's weird, because it, like, gut reaction, Mario Kart is up here. Gut reaction, Mario Kart is up here. Actually, no, you know what, now that I think about it, when I talk about games that are, like, my jam... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put these down here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to downgrade Mario Kart and Mario Party to only excellent tier, A tier, because the more I think about what I need, what I want in my S like tier, the more Mario Kart and Mario Party are just... I put them there just because of the fact of, like, just functionally they are safe choices. But this is my tier list, and even though I do like both series a lot, they are not in the same echelon after some thought, like, compared to these up here. Now, what would that mean? That means my top 3 right here for now. Warriors. And I know, this is using the Hyrule Warriors logo, but unless I find, like, the Dynasty Warriors logo somewhere down here, unless I find that, basically, I'm using this for the Warriors, the Musou franchise. Now, I remember what I said earlier about Bayonetta and Devil May Cry not being my kind of hack and slash games. Well, let me tell you that, just the Musou franchises within Koei Tecmo's library, most of them are basically my jam. That's what I like out of a hack and slash game. The mindless button mashy, like, not even high difficulty at all, just a brain turn-off moment of a game. And I've been playing, like, these franchises since I was a wee lad. I've been playing Musou games for so long that I can't see myself not playing them for the foreseeable future. Outside of Dynasty Warriors 9. Dynasty Warriors 9 was a travesty of a game. Though respect to the devs for trying to support it for as long as they did. I wish I could say the same for Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, but man, I think it's really seeming like Empires, like 9 Empires was the, unfortunately, final nail in the coffin for, like, that franchise, for Dynasty Warriors particularly. Samurai Warriors could still go, like, far, but it seems like Koei Tecmo, like, Omega Force specifically knows that, I think they basically know that they have their hearts set on making Musou titles out of other IPs. So instead of focusing on in-house, they're just focusing on, like, other people's IPs, and they've been doing really well. So props to Omega Force for that, but I still wish that that same love could be given to you know, their actual in-house franchises. But yeah, this is just purely based on, this is my preferred style of hack and slash game. And I don't think that's ever going to change. Like Dynasty Warriors 3, 4, 5, like whatever have you. Samurai Warriors 1, 2, and so on. Yeah, they have a special place. They have a special place for me. I wish I could play them, like, on stream, but I gotta go and set up, you know, the emulators and everything. Gotta go set up all that stuff. But next one on the list is Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers. I went to tournaments for Super Smash Brothers. I went to tournaments for Project M. I went to tournaments for 4. I went to tournaments for Ultimate. I was existing in the Smash sphere for several years. Just that alone probably tells me that this is probably one of my fighting games, just for the foreseeable future and so on. Yeah, Super Smash Brothers is, I mean, look, everyone knows how much fun Super Smash Brothers is. Like, sure, they might have, like, maybe a less than positive opinion about the competitive community. Hey, even I do as well. But outside of that, the game itself, the franchise itself is so special to gaming that I can't not put it up here. Like, Ultimate itself is like a hallmark in gaming that I don't think can be replicated. So in terms of just the gravitas of, like, Super Smash Brothers as a franchise, honestly, can't not put it up here. But there is one franchise that rules over all of them so far, and that's Phantasy Star for me. And this is not I'm not saying it's the original Phantasy Star series. I'm talking about Phantasy Star Online. Anything after Phantasy Star Online is the reason why Phantasy Star is so highly regarded for me, despite my thoughts of their latest entry in New Genesis. Speaking of New Genesis, though, I will say that I kind of appreciate the fact that New Genesis has found life as more like just instead of a lot of people who post about New Genesis on like Twitter, they're posting about stuff that they made in their own personal like rooms in terms of like set pieces and stuff like that. It's like a creative space. I appreciate that New Genesis has found life, at least in Japan, at least. Maybe not for here, because I think the game is basically dead here. New Genesis has found, like, new life in being a creative space. And I've seen the creative spaces people have made in New Genesis, and it's kind of insane. But, I mean, New Genesis is popular enough in its home country that they're still pumping out content for it. Not really the major content that would be nice, but I mean, it's still content nonetheless, and the community is still pumping out like stuff from in their creative spaces, so big ups to that. But outside of that, Phantasy Star Online episode 1 and 2, or just say Blueburst. I'll just say Blueburst. Like Blueburst Universe 0, Portable, the Portable series, all of them. Awesome. I spent so much time in each one of those, like, in each one of those series that I can't. This is my #1 franchise. It used to be Warriors. It used to be Muso, but because of just how Omega Force has been treating their in-house IPs recently, I had to knock it down a couple of pegs. And Phantasy Star, despite it not getting like the same like treatment, well, the kind of treatment that I would hope it would get, just Phantasy Star Online specifically as a series is just, I think it's my GOAT franchise at the moment. And I know there's definitely other games and series on a technical level that are much better, but here's the thing. Even though I say something is great on a technical level, if I don't vibe with it, it doesn't matter how good it is. Doesn't matter if it's Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16, I have no interest in playing because I just have no interest in the gameplay. The spectacle of it is cool, but I have no interest in it as a game, and you can't convince me otherwise. You can try, but you can't convince me otherwise. Phantasy Star, though, if Sega were to put out, and yes, this is Sega bias again, I'm sorry, but if Sega were to put out a notice that they're working on a new Phantasy Star Online title, and this is separate from like New Genesis, Phantasy Star Online 2 and all that, if they are working on Phantasy Star Online 3, and they're taking it back to its roots of it being like a mission-based like hub game, like in the same vein as like Monster Hunter, because the style of Phantasy Star Online was like proto Monster Hunter. If they have it in the style of that, absolutely I would try to get into like the closed beta, like maybe even alpha test. I just want to play like more classic Phantasy Star. And it says something when I am actually a part of several private servers for several of the different games. I just really like Phantasy Star. Yeah. Phantasy Star is my GOAT franchise at the moment. And yeah, that's my list so far. And oh my god, it has been almost 2 hours. You know what? I'll just say that we will continue this at another time. For real this time. I say for real this time, even though part 1 never happened, we'll make this part 1. The actual part 1. This is the actual part 1. And I will come back to this. I will come back to this whenever I can. Or whenever I feel like it. Because we still have, I counted, this is 140 entries, and we still have at least 310 to go. This is going to be a long one. But, like I said, we'll come back to it from time to time. I am very tired. I am super tired. I need to eat. I need to eat, and also I think my voice is basically gonna be shot for like the next like day or two. So yeah. That's ah man. Why did I do this? I just hate the fact that I never hit go I just never hit go live during the first part. That never happened. The first part that was supposed to happen, I did the entire thing without realizing that I didn't hit go live. I'm still kind of upset with myself about that. But yeah, at least I made good on that. So whenever next time is gonna be for this, whenever next time is gonna be, we'll just continue on until I'm finished with it. Probably by the time I'm finished with it, we're gonna have more franchises to just add to the list, and oh my god. Probably that won't be for another, like, if I ever decide to do a list like that again, it's probably not gonna be for a while. But, you know. I have nothing. I'm just so tired. I just want to. I just want to eat. I want to eat and rest my voice. So I'm just gonna do that. Thank you for coming by. Whoever just decided to click on the stream, you just witnessed somebody just talk about random video game franchises because he still doesn't have enough energy to do anything more than just chatting streams and tier lists and just really simple games. I was thinking though of finally getting out of this bubble and doing maybe card games, like TCG card games. I have been playing Magic the Gathering Arena recently. Maybe I can just download that on my PC and just like try to, you know, maybe play that maybe. But then again, I know next to nothing about Magic, so maybe not until I actually have some idea of what I'm doing. For Yu-Gi-Oh, it took, and it's still taking, a long time, because modern day Yu-Gi-Oh just hurts my brain. Maybe modern day Magic also hurts my brain. Hell, maybe even Hearthstone hurts my brain. I don't know, I think I'm just a very straightforward player. It takes me a while to just think about, like, oh man, these cards would go great together. I'm still in the phase of, oh, this card sounds good, I'm gonna add it. Oh, this card without any synergy to my last card is good. I'll just add it. Maybe once I break out of that shell, maybe we'll actually play, like, some TCGs. Maybe. Okay, maybe instead of Master Duel, I'll probably, like, download, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, Omega or something. And then just play from that. Maybe I'll do that. But we'll see. We'll see. Also, my internet has been fluctuating very badly today. I need to go actually see what is up with the I need to go see what's up with the, like, upload and download speed, because this is concerning, because my stream has been fluctuating between, like, red and green this entire stream. So, very concerning, but I'll go ahead and check that out for next time. So, I'm gonna go eat. Take care. I'm gonna go... maybe I should rest first. I'll do one or the other first. But, yeah, thanks. I'll be back. I'll be back sometime soon, hopefully. Assuming my voice doesn't get shot, which it probably will. Okay, I'm gone. Goodbye.